Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer and we're returning to Rule the Waves 2. We were trying to finish up our war against Germany, France and Japan in our little Let's Play as the US here. So Japan has been nearly beaten. They do have a battle cruiser left, which is currently in Northeast Asia, but I think we are boxing them in very nicely. But just last turn, after we've been blockading Europe for quite a long while, the French have broken out and they are apparently trying to blockade us on our North American East Coast, which is our home base. So that is something that we do need to break. So I think we have to transfer some forces here. They do have 4 heavy cruisers, 2 carriers. We currently only have 1 heavy cruiser in the North American theaters. So yeah, we are moving a couple of our ships then from the Caribbean there to heavy cruisers. But I do think we need a little bit more than that. So let's actually sort this by displacement so that we have all the large things together. Right, so in Northern Europe we have a couple of ships and I do want to maintain our blockade over there, but at the same time I do need pretty much to move a couple of guys back towards our home waters. So you know what, let's actually grab a couple of aircraft carriers. Let's grab 2 aircraft carriers and 1, 2, 3, 4 heavy cruisers, and then I do think we need some light cruisers as well. You here are in Northern Europe, so let's grab these San Francisco classes, and I do think we have these Truxton classes. You know what, let's grab all of these guys here that are currently in Europe. They're a little bit older than the Truxtons, but I think very fine ships still, so that's nice. Yeah, I think that should be at the very least enough to break their blockade, and I think that should be okay. Do we have enough destroyers here? 7 only. I would ideally like to have at least 10. So let's take a look on our guys over here. We don't have that many. You guys here are on trade protection. Everyone else is on trade protection except these guys here, but you're minesweepers, so that's fine. Just looking at the status column over here. Yeah, but other than that, yeah, we do have a couple of destroyers that are coming in from Northeast Asia, but they are going to go via the North Pacific, so that's going to take a while here. So, well, I suppose what we need to do then is... yeah, pretty much no one is on the American East Coast. We've got a couple of flosses here. Okay, you guys here, let's move these guys here towards the East Coast, and let's hope that that will work out. We are constructing not so many destroyers. We might want to beef up our destroyer count. How many have we got over here? 14. Sorry about the noise in there. Right. So, yeah, I think that's fine. Bermuda, that's fine. Panama, that's fine. Puerto Rico, that's not good. Corvettes are commissioned. We should not get them off lightly. But peace is concluded and we gain large territories. So we only get 10 here. That might be enough to get the Baltic states. Or we could get a couple of bases in sort of the Mediterranean. Well, East Prussia is not quite enough, but all in all, well, Formosa will also be nice. You know what, I think... ooh, Tonkin, Gulf of Tonkin? Maybe not Algeria, but maybe Corsica. I think Corsica is a very nice base for most of the Mediterranean. So that's lovely. Lots of ships being scrapped over here. And indeed we are back in peace. So let's take a look at our new possessions. Yeah. So Corsica should be a very nice base to cover basically all of these harbours in the north there. In East Asia we've conquered pretty much all of Korea. We've conquered this little island here to the north of Japan. So these are very, very good gains. We've also gotten our first base over here in, well, Indochina, or what used to be Indochina, so that's very great. We could have grabbed a couple of things over here maybe, just so we built up some bases there. Budget is way out of scope, so our budget here really is way too bad, so I think ideally we need to halt the construction of our 2 carriers over here. Some of these light cruisers we might also want to scrap. We only have basically money for 3 turns or so. So that's not quite enough. But I think in 1956 it would also be appropriate to think about scrapping some of these battleships I think the battle cruisers are still useful, the heavy cruisers are still useful. Let's take a look at the almanac. We are not the only ones to have battleships in service. Great Britain has one. Italy has one. Italy's is actually fairly enormous here, so let's take a look at that. The Italia. 8 16-inch guns, 6 6-inch guns, but not dual purpose, mind you, so yeah, you know, honestly I think the time of these juggernauts is gone. So what we'd actually probably want to do is actually scrap the California and the Connecticut. I think that could be okay. Museum ship. Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. Yeah, let's set that as a museum ship. So I think that's great. We've got the Colorado. She's active, so I think we'd probably want to keep her. The battle cruisers, I don't mind them that much. They are at least fast. That still gives us quite a couple of ships over here, so I think all of that should be okay. Our carrier fleet is extremely impressive, so that's nice and lovely to see. At this point we are starting to see we have a lot more heavy cruiser tonnage. We don't really match our next two competitors, especially the Soviet Union has a lot of these guys. Light cruisers is fine, we are building a couple of them. Destroyers are fine, I think. Corvettes, we could probably do a little bit more, seeing how many submarines are being built, especially by Japan. 56 submarines being built. But yeah, just look at the number of our aircraft. Only Italy is actually getting close to that. And they don't have that many aircraft carriers. So yeah, rather than go through all of the mothballing and all of that, I think this is a very good place to put a cut to this little episode. So not episode, actually, the entire series. So let's actually resign over here and see what we get. Yeah, we are sure about this. So let's revisit our wars here. An early war against the United Kingdom, then the somewhat disastrous war against the Germans. Actually, the Battle of Brusterod here. We've lost a battleship here. I believe so. Can I see that? Is there more information on this? Well, okay, yeah, that doesn't tell me much. Well, right, we've got the Battle of Manila Bay, a great battle against Japan, where I think we, for the first time with our carriers, did enormous amount of damage. Bay of Biscay, yeah, I think these two battles here are the ones. This is the Battle of Lubang, close to the island of Lubang. We named actually a carrier after that. Same here with the Battle of Biscay. You can see the drive in prestige that we got from that. So that's very nice to see. Yeah, only these two German wars are the ones that we really lost. So yeah, and then later on we are getting in this three-way war over here, where we are winning quite a bit, but our prestige pretty much has gotten out of control. You can also see the fleet tonnage. We are the red line, of course. Actually, the English start out with a lot more tonnage than we have, but they are reducing that. We are building up a lot, especially over here once we're starting to see our carriers. But you can also see at great many points we are losing a lot of tonnage. I think at this point here, this is probably just before war. We were really seeing that we would be getting in a war, and we were sending a lot of our ships to be refit so that they would be ready for the war, and indeed they were. Same over here after the war. We've accumulated enough technology over these 2 years that we can put all of our ships basically into being refit and increase. So that's lovely to see. Our economy should be just on an upward trend. All of these guys are going up gradually. I would have thought that we could see some of them decline a little bit more. But yeah, all in all, we lost a battleship. That was a very severe loss against some German planes, very early on, I think in the 20s probably. Quite a couple of light cruisers, quite a couple of destroyers. Soviet Union lost 7 battleships. That was a savage battle. Japan losing a lot of carriers over here. I think actually in their surprise attack on us, wasn't it? Or slightly later maybe? But yeah, all in all, I'm fairly happy over here. We've won quite a bit of prestige. It's the year 1956, so that's lovely to see. Score, well, I mean, I haven't played this that much, but here we go. The Navy will name a new aircraft carrier after us, so that's great to see. And yeah, I hope you had a good time in this little Let's Play over here. I certainly did. Enjoyed this very much. And I hope to see you guys next time. I am thinking about starting a new series here, maybe with some nation. maybe with a little bit of a let's play that's more focused on torpedoes. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about that, and I'll see you back then. Bye bye, guys.